1, 2, 3. One, two, three. One, two, three. So let's start with the prayer. Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Ganasadusham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Tirunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Thank you, Swamiji, for helping all of us. Okay. So hello, Murali. We are all live in YouTube and live in Facebook. Okay, so today we're going to start sharing our experience. So far, last few weeks we have been Sri Lakshmi Ma shared her experience of Swamiji and how Swamiji transformed our life, and others, me and Veda Sarupa and others. So now on Kailasananda so Kailasananda, do you want to share your experience of life, how it all got started with Swamiji?
I was in Seattle working for Microsoft in the era of around like 2007. Before that, I used to read a lot of Sri Ramakrishna's and Swami Vivekananda's books, right? So I used to read like different books and things. When I was young, my father used to take me to the Sri Ramakrishna Mutt. There are many places in India, right? You go to different mutts. They have these weekly programs. Okay, every weekend or every special occasions, I used to go there. I will touch upon many themes. So the theme I am trying to touch is the before Swamiji came into my life, at least this life, I was basically a seeker in the sense, see, when I was young, right, when we used to go on a walk, my father will take me, I'll just look at the sky, I'll see the stars, right, I will ask, very young, so I will ask, oh, what are those? My father would say, stars. Then how are they staying there? Why are they not falling, right? It's in the sky. Basically, I was a why person, why things are happening in such a way. So that why question kind of took me to read different types of books, looking for some knowledge, basically looking for the truth. Before Swamiji, I used to read a lot of books, anything related to spirituality, enlightened masters books, even occultism, how lots of books on astrology, different subjects, how even books about yantra, tantra, mantra, ghosts, anything you name not normal, I used to read a lot of those. I even experimented with some different things on each subject. We will light the candles and do some chanting and see if something shows up when we were young. Okay, basically different kind of experimentation, different kind of searching. So when Swamiji came into the picture, whatever I fantasized or thought as, we always have thinking something as spirituality, right? So all those things started becoming materializing. So that's the main theme I want to touch. Not only me, I saw whoever came into the space of Swamiji. The one thing I started seeing is the transformation. Basically, whatever we thought as something. For example, I may not be doing yoga before I met Swamiji or visiting some places. So I used to always fantasize about going Himalayas, going here, going there, where all the enlightened masters lived. But it never happened because the modern society, because of our social conditioning, right? We always live in a world where the priorities are always about artha, right, and kama, that the whole world is running behind material wealth. So every human being is just running behind thinking that's the priority. Very rarely people go behind moksha unless somebody is real seeker, right? Only sadhakas or some masters, they do the practice. So when I met Swamiji in 2007, whatever I thought of doing on the spiritual side as sadhana or spiritual practice, they started becoming materializing. So that was a huge transformation. Without knowing me, things were just happening. So the memories I cherish is like I went with Swamiji to, actually basically Swamiji just took me here and there. We went to Cambodia Yatra. There's one of called as the country of the temples, right? See, Tamil Nadu they use it in India. Tamil Nadu they call it as the city of the state of temples. Here, my son is listening. Come and sit. You can sit here. Okay, sorry, he's also listening. See, I went to Cambodia. It's full of temples. It was built by the kings who went from South Asia hundreds of years back. So I had the opportunity to visit I think it has the largest temple complex in the world. So we went there. The Angkor Wat, right? So it was like a program, yatra. So Swamiji also had a Himalaya Yatra in 2007. I wanted to go, but I could not because I was in US at that time. I was about to shift to India back. So then we went to India back in 2008, and then I'm just touching upon the themes where whatever I thought as the spirituality of sadhana, how it started becoming a reality, from fantasy to a reality. So in 2008 and 2009, so we had this Varanasi Yatra. Basically, Swamiji took us around few hundred people, all the places which are called the Moksha Kshetras or Moksha Kshetras are the places where the enlightened masters got their enlightenment. For example, Buddha Gaya, right? Exactly where Buddha got enlightened. Right now, the Bodhi tree is not there. It's a sibling is there, the sibling tree. So then we went to Sri Ramakrishna's place, the Mata and the place where he was born, the villages. We went to Jagannath Puri and the Triveni Sangamam, then Varanasi. Like all the places, Swamiji even took us to the places where he did the penance. When he was doing the tapas, right? He even showed that in Calcutta, one of the strange stations where he stayed 1 or 2 days, exact spot, and where he did I don't know if you saw the Swamiji satsangs, he would give once he stayed in the banks of Ganges, right? Maganga, that river. He stayed in the banks for a long time. He will not talk to anybody. He would wake up in the morning, go sit, just watch the river, right? Just sit with the river, be in meditation with the whole. So he took us to exactly the same spot. He made us see in each place. The specialty of the author is that in each place he would make us do the same technique that master followed. For example, in Buddha Gaya, we did the practice of the Vipassana meditation, right? We did the whole night. In the morning, I had a lot of experiences I will share later, but I'm just touching upon the different themes. So by the grace of Swamiji, basically, for me and many of the other devotees, all these things, I would have never imagined that I will go to the place exactly where Sri Ramakrishna did his tapas when he was practicing, right? It's called Panchavana. So that, and the exact place, Swamiji even showed the bangles of Ma Kali, right? Where once people were challenging him or telling that it's not true. Then Ramakrishna actually put the bangles in Ma Kali. There is no way you can materialistically do that. Materially, there's no way. It's a deity, and there's no way that bangle will go in, right? But for Sri Ramakrishna's sake, Kali will actually come in the physical form and he will put the bangles in her hand. So he showed exactly that spot, even the bangles. And there are like 12 lingas placed or in the temple where Sri Ramakrishna used to take a bath, exact spot. So he made all the devotees to take bath, where he sat in the room on the same bed. They're still keeping those items there, where he used to teach his disciples, right, at that time. And Swami Vivekananda was young, right? He used to go to visit those places. So each spot, he will tell a story and he will connect with the spiritual truth. For example, I'll ask a question, right? What is the main theme Swamiji got from Sri Ramakrishna? Any of you know?
No, we don't know.
See, it's the intensity. See, Ramakrishna was Bhavan, it almost like you wanted to experiment your things, right? See, if I tell you something, you told that you want to experiment, then only you will believe. See, Ramakrishna
Yes.
is like the
Yeah. So when Swamiji was initially, when I first met, right? So whatever Swamiji says, I wouldn't take it on the face value. I would always experiment. So yeah, without experimenting, I never did. So I experimented for first 2.5 years before I have accepted 100% whatever Swamiji was saying. I used to think sometimes I was right and sometimes Swamiji was right. Sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes Swamiji was wrong. That was my space from 2009 to 2012. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
see the Ramakrishna's thing is intensity, extremely intense. Okay, see when we do meditation, right? Swamiji told us to do meditation on in Bodh Gaya. All of you sit. You will not wake up, stand up until you get enlightened. That's how Buddha did the last meditation. He went into meditation in the night. He said, either I'm going to die or I will get enlightened. Only these two happen. So he just sits down, making a sankalpa, that vairagya. That's it. Ramakrishna is the intensity, right? The anything he took, he did a lot of practices. He did the mantra sadhana, then even he practiced Islam sadhana, then even Christianity some practices, even Tantra, he got a lot of initiations from the different masters. So when he was doing the tapas, he will go to the perfection, meaning anything, he will see the end, then only he will come back. Such an intensity. Swamiji told that in that place where see in Calcutta there are two temples. One is Dakshineshwar, Dakshina Kali, and then Ghat Kali. Ghat Kali is the Shakti Pida, where Ma Kali's, right? When Sati's body, goddess Sati's body broken to pieces, right? With the chakra of Vishnu, the story says that the parts of the body fell on different places in all over the whole world, right? So the tongue is the part where the Ghat Kali is. So Swamiji took us to that temple also, there Dakshineshwar. Okay. Swamiji told that each sand particle in Dakshineshwar is like Sri Ramakrishna's energy embodiment. But he was so intense, even the material world around him was like completely changed as him. So Swamiji said he learned intensity from Sri Ramakrishna. Okay. He gave an example. See, he made us to do some techniques. Okay. When we're going for these yatras, he will tell us, go and practice this meditation, practice that technique or this mantra. Mantra chanting. Let's take the example of mantra chanting. Swamiji will keep two malas, okay, two hands, okay. 108 beats. If 108 goes, then he will move the one this side. And even while going to sleep or body falls down for rest, he will keep the hands like this, and until the body falls asleep, he will still count. Okay, it's a non-stop. It's called Achapa Japa practice. Then let's take the other example of third day meditation. Okay, Swamiji gave the example. See, he will tell us to just look at the, say, candle or some object. We will do, say, for example, a few minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Usually typical meditation goes from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And some unclenching sessions went from 2 to 3 hours whenever we meditate with Swamiji. But after an hour or so, all the body parts will start paining. Knees, back, people will start moving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. by,
Yeah.
by third or fourth hour, most people will lose the focus or concentration. They want to take a break, go and eat something, come back, right? Swamiji would say when he started practicing, third day meditation, actually there is a way to look at the sun. I mean, normal people don't do it unless you have the initiation. So you have to look at the sun using the third eye and also the two eyes. Okay. There is a technique to awaken the third eye using sun. So his guru taught Swamiji. Swamiji did the practice. So he said he will start staring at the sun on the sunrise. He will only close at the sunset, non-stop. This is a technique he did, not once, several days and days. And Sri Ramakrishna used to follow a technique. He could not close his eyelids for 6 months. No sleep, nothing, no closing of the eyelids for 6 months. So the intensity is such that ordinary mere mortal beings cannot have that. So in each place, Swamiji will give this technique, made us practice the technique. In Varanasi, we did visit the main temple, Annapurneshwari temple, then Kalabhairava's temple. And on the banks of the Ganges, Ganga, we watched that Arati, and every place he'll make us do certain type of meditation, certain type of technique, mantras. So whatever I thought before I met Swamiji as like whichever I wanted to do on the spiritual side, all the things related to spirituality became reality. That's one theme I wanted to touch. So not only that.
Kailasan, that's pretty good. You're giving the whole like commentary, like a day by day and how it went. But the mainly because that may not help an average person. If let's say somebody comes to this session, somebody comes, it won't help them. Instead, how Swamiji transformed your life or your family life, your personal life or professional life, how it helped in your relationships, or how it helped in your profession, or how it helped with your own. So if you share the benefits of following Swamiji, what was your situation before or after, that would really help. But if you just tell the whole like a movie, the whole story, it may not, most of the people won't even make sense. Oh, this guy is talking something. So you see what I'm saying? So I want you to focus on the benefits of following Swamiji, right? You attended this program. That program, how did it benefit you? Yeah, we want to focus on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some people like the story type, so I was giving that narration. So I really enjoy. So when I tell, right, so the benefits, right? Which one wants you see? From my perspective, I don't see the normal things as big things. Meaning, these things, see, $1 million, right? It doesn't excite me. Okay. Whether Swarupananda was asking one day, what makes, I told nothing is happening inside. Okay. So there are no triggers with the normal things, but I will anyways tell. I have some other triggers, but I will tell the normal triggers first.
No, see, for example, see, every human being wants to have peace of mind or health or wealth or the relationships or fulfillment, or our life should go smooth on instead of every day in a roller coaster. Not everybody is excited about roller coaster. Not everybody wants to be a Jackie Chan, right? Nobody wants to jump like Jackie Chan, right? But for Jackie Chan, it makes sense, right? So I'm just saying, like a day to day, an average, you're a family man, you married, you got a job, you go through a daily drill of the problems and then the stress and all.
Right,
Did you have, so what is that which made the difference? Why should somebody consider following Swamiji, or what is the benefit for some average human being, average person?
See, for an average person,
from that perspective, how it helped you in a daily, maybe mundane life, right?
Yeah. See, let me tell you from an average person's perspective, right? Let's take the example of career. Okay. I'm still doing the same IT job. I'm in the IT software person. So I'm doing the same job before I met Swamiji, and now also I'm doing the same job. It's the same job, but then what's the benefit, right? The thing is, Before I attended all these inner awakening and all the 21 days programs that Swamiji conducted, before I practiced this yoga and meditation techniques, the biggest difference is the inner space. See, right now what I have inside is completely different than what I had before I met Swamiji. See, before, if a boss comes and tells something, or if somebody else comes and tells something in my office, there is always that irritation or stress inside. Oh, I have to finish this something. After I attended these Swamiji's programs, even if my boss comes and shouts at in my ear, there is nothing. Okay. Basically, there is no chalana inside my inner space. When I say chalana, it's any kind of emotions that makes you upset, irritated, sad. Something happens in the office.
Agitation, mental agitation. So you mean now there is no more mental agitation or inner space. That means in your thing there is no more stress or any agitation.
Yeah. I don't see a difference between my manager coming and giving me a pink slip versus my pay slip or bonus. I don't see a difference. There is no change inside. So what that means is the mind, instead of going up and down, it's steady. The mind is steady. I can make clear choices. The biggest benefit I saw, not just for me, but actually for my company, is that each time I attended Inner Awakening, right, I was doing the same job in half the time. Okay. There's no chattering inside. My efficiency was so high. I really miss the Inner Awakening programs anyways. So definitely for an average person, I can guarantee now they can even take these online programs. Many of the programs have been made like they can just read the books and attend the programs 21 days or 16 days. I guarantee that their career will go up. So for an average person, it's a growth in career, better relationships in the office. Okay. And then beyond that, they will know how to change their life for a better way. So that's one difference.
That's really, you see, that's everybody, right? See, for
Yes.
Kailasananda, for you, it may not be a big deal, but for an average person, that daily stress is causing so many problems. Sometimes even the headaches, ulcers, and sometimes they will go through a depression. Some people even go through the depression, right? And
Yeah,
so
I fully agree, and I can
for an
relate.
average person.
I can relate with the office people. I'll just give an example. 1 or 2 months back, there was a real serious project going on in my office, current office. So it's this very, very important project. There were like 7, 8 people sitting, and in the late night or something, we are trying to release something. Then I was sitting just cool, and there is no reaction from my side. Something was not working. Then they said, "Oh, what if it doesn't go?" I told, "What if it doesn't go? It doesn't go. It doesn't go. We'll fix again next day, the other day." I had no stress, no worries, nothing. But they were all fully tensed on the fire, right? It's like they are about to launch a rocket, and there is something wrong, right? May go completely bust. So I told them I'm telling the truth. Nothing is happening inside. So the reality is,
Not good for them, right?
yeah, they were all under full pressure, and they were burning, and I can see their faces and
Stressed out.
yeah, stress, depression, sadness, and all the stuff that comes in the office. So after I met Swamiji and doing all these practices, it's gone. So I call them as buttons. See, each person has granthis. I told you the other day. So Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, and Rudra Granthi. Okay. In an average person's term, people can come and push some buttons, then you will start jumping. Either they can make you angry or sad, or it may not be an incident, maybe just a news that you're reading online. I saw like people jumping up and down because somebody got elected or not got elected. Okay. So like that, each of us have different granthis. It's called the knots. Okay. Knots meaning the blocks in our energy circuits. We have these subtle bodies. So what happens is when we go to these programs, whenever we meet Swamiji, each day he initiates us. So when he initiates, all our knots become straight, or they get disentangled. So the energy starts flowing normal. That's why for an average person, when we go and do these things, without knowing, things will become smoother. So either it be career or relationships, Of course, everybody who got married know who can push the button, right? So
everybody's got married and at least married for 3 years. They know what those buttons are, and you know your wife's buttons very well, and your wife knows your buttons very well. Even the kids also. If you have kids, even the kids knows which button to push when.
yeah, kids know both the sides, which button to push where, when. After I met Swamiji, these buttons, office kind of, even before I met Swamiji, it was not a big deal. Now it's much lower. Same thing on the personal side, okay? The other thing is...
Oh, yeah, you shared on the office side, right? That's very good. So before you go to the personal side, let's see if anybody else wants to jump in and share any of that. So that way what happens, then everybody gets a chance to share. That's good, very good. So at least you covered one area of life where pretty much half of our life spends at the work, right? And work gives half of our headache. It gives a tremendous amount of freedom. It gives a financial, stability for the family so that the family runs smoothly. But in addition to that, it also comes with enough headaches, right? So there's no free lunch. That comes with a package, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's ask whether Sarpananda or Lakshmi Ma or Murli. Yeah. So
actually, after these programs, experientially, what exactly I really see is whether it is the personal basis or even in the office or even in the business. Okay, what I clearly see is the thought trends of the person, and initially I used to feel a lot. At the same time, I used to think that, oh my god, this guy is doing something, so I need to do some kind of the kind of the revenge back. I really need to push him back. I really need to curse him. I need to do this kind of things used to come back, because sometimes what happens is, if there is something which is in your hands, you actually will go ahead and you'll do it, like you're hitting or you're not doing something, right? So, or whenever you really become much more powerless, then what exactly happens? You keep on cursing, right? You keep on giving the bad things to the person, right? It's nothing as well. It's another level of the powerlessness only. It's nothing more than that. So attending these after attending the programs and understanding how the karma and everything works, I clearly see that something which it changed me inside, saying that I actually don't need to do anything much, because karma is such a big judge. It is not going to leave it just maybe not in this life itself. It is going to come as as a hook. It is going to continue until they really have to finish that kind of thought trend. I said, okay, even if it is going to come, if they are cherishing that kind of thought trend, definitely they really have to complete. They really have to come out of it, or one or the other way they have to come out of it. But if I am going to hook to the same thing, that means again I also need to take another birth so that I can complete that one. Do I really need that? Got what I mean? See, if somebody is in a doing something bad and you recognize that, and you just warn them 1 or 2 times, and after that one completely forgive them. Don't even think about them. Say that, okay, if that person is cherishing that kind of thought trend, let him go with it, because one or the other day he has to realize, and one or the other day he has to come out of it. But if I keep on cursing them, then what happens is, unknowingly I am creating another hook for which I need to take another birth, or I just need to complete somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous, I really say that is a game changer for me. That actually made saying that, okay, I really no need to do anything, because there's another bigger judges there which is going to take care of it. Let them go on their own. I'm going on my own. I'm not going to do anything. First thing what it exactly did is, it gave me tremendous peace in personal, official, in the office environment, and even in the business environment. Even dealing with the clients, dealing with the partners and everybody also, it is the same kind of thing. Yeah, I know. If it is this, that's good. Otherwise, okay, let them take it. So I don't think, if this, I really say that for anyone, if they understand this one small principle, I see that the whole world can be transformed just like that. Right? So that's my personal experience. Like, now nothing really bothers me. I don't curse anybody. I don't be mad at anybody. I really say that I just only pity other people. That's nothing more than, if they really are not going to listen. I say that, okay, what to do? Okay, go with whatever you really have to.
The pity isn't that it's too strong a word to refer to people?
I really say that, in the Telugu there is ఒక సామెత ఉంది. చెప్తే విననోని చడంగా చూడమంటారు. అంటే if you tell somebody and if they really are not in a place of, they're not in a position of listening, what you need to say is you need to wait until they are going to be hit by the life and they are going to listen. It is not that you have any anger, but you're really out of your own experiences and everything. You're trying to tell the person, and when the person is actually getting, there is one more thing. If a person is actually getting hurt, you laughing means you're actually cherishing something inside. But
exactly,
he's such a kind that when they really hit, he can go and give them a helping hand, saying that, see, this is what I really told you, come out. This is what I really was telling. So that is the thing. If you really keep on cherishing, see, I really told you, exactly happened. That's exactly the thing I was talking. That means it is nothing else but you are actually inside you. You are cherishing some other thing which is inside you. That portion was taken out. Okay. That portion was taken out, even though the other person,
a little revenge kind of thing, a little, that
exactly.
whatever anger, whatever that, the thing, right? Making, making fun of somebody or maybe enjoying somebody's suffering. So that's gone. That's taken
gone.
away.
Yeah. Because I really don't even enjoy that one, because I see that is very cheap. So that
the
actually,
other way to say it, instead of saying cheap, we can say it's a compassion. Can we say it's a compassion? Oh, I understand. Okay, maybe I'm under the influence of this before before I got this realization,
you can say
this
that,
experience, and I was like him, right? Or I was like her, and then now that I understand, I have now the new understanding of life happened. So they're still there. So Papa is just a compassion. Compassion. They are victim of their own life or circumstances. So let me be more compassionate. Can we say that?
That's it.
Maybe a better way of saying, because sometimes when you say these words, right, it really hits them hard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's get to the other participants on the panel today. Let's ask Sri Lakshmi Ma or Murali, who wants to go next? Who wants to share? If anything you guys wants to share, I also have something I can also share. But yeah, go ahead. We have another 15 minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
I shared last week.
You shared last week. So Sri Lakshmi also shared. Do you want to share anything else, Ma?
Not really, Bhagwan Reddy.
Okay.
I want to hear from you.
Okay. So what happened? I'll share with this very good experience I had for last. I struggled a lot when I first. The reason for me to come into this spiritual line, I don't know. I still don't call myself spiritual in the way I see it. Right? For me, I had issues with my life where I was struggling myself. Didn't understand why I got into this family life, because everybody is getting married. I got married, right? Why I got married, God only knows, right? Everybody's getting married, you got to get married. Otherwise, then there's no another pay, right? You look an odd man out. So I don't want to be an odd man out, so you get married. Everybody's getting married, I need to get married, right? We got. So then you didn't know how to relate yourself in a marriage, or how do you relate yourself in the office or the family environment, friends environment. I used to feel I was lost in life. So then they'll say that, right, you live in America, you get your green card, you get a job, and you become a manager, you got cash in the bank, now got beautiful, wife and kids. Then your life, you have achieved an American dream. I didn't feel like according to the average society, I should be the happiest guy on earth. But I was not. I was feeling as something is missing in my life, right? What was missing? Some fulfillment is missing, right? Then I realized, I felt that I'm not in charge of my life. That really hit me so hard. I had that, last time I was saying that I had a green diary. Every day I used to plan, because I used to believe that I am in charge. I was in charge of my life. I used to say, this is my plan. And every day before I go to bed, I would say, okay, this was my plan and this is what happened. This is the plan. This was the reality. It hit me like a jolt. Man, I don't control my life. Oh my God, that was a huge ego hit for me. As if that's not enough, I felt powerless. I felt I was checkmated in life. I didn't know where to run. You see what I'm saying? Then I started looking around. What are the things I can do about it? I read all the self-help books in life, and like that, I found finally Swamiji. Even after finding Swamiji, and I was struggling because Swamiji, sometimes I feel, I used to think he's a young man. He's younger than me. He didn't have a wife and kids. He didn't have a job. He's just a sannyasi. He can go beg and eat. So how does he understand our problems? That was my thinking in 2009, 10, 11. You see what I'm saying? Um, so sometimes I used to think, I used to argue with Swamiji also. Sometimes I would debate because no, he's so, I used to think that either he would answer my questions or kick me out. Both are good for me. One, either I would get an answer, I would save my time. You see what I mean? That was my thing. Only simple formula. Either he would answer my problems, he would take care of my, help me solve my problems, or he'll kick me out of his program. Both are good for me, right? So that was thing. After struggling for 2.5 years, I got a click after that ever since. So then it was going on like that's great. So I realized that I used to, this book, right? This Living Enlightenment book, right? So this was, I was reading regularly. But when we bought a lot of people, right? Swamiji is disabled, they'll say, just open any page in the morning, then read whatever is relevant for that day, it'll come. So I was reading that for a long time. Last 6 months, or I don't know, 1 year, maybe 1 year, yeah. 1 year, I suddenly stopped reading. Then I see a huge amount of difference in when I was reading the book every day, first thing in the morning, or when I was not reading. Suddenly I realized, why am I not, my life is great now. I'm extremely happy, fulfilled, peaceful, and healthy, wealthy, everything is going. But it can be much better, right? Why? Then again, I started reading this book. So now the same habit, right? Open the book randomly. I was reading. So my last one was the You Are Intelligence. There is a chapter called You Are. I just opened, suddenly it came and read. It was so powerful. Oh my God. We are intelligence. Then he said, if we are intelligence, how come we are not accessing that dimension of our life? I was thinking, oh, then I started practicing that. It was powerful. Then I said, why am I reading randomly? Then I thought, let me start reading in a sequence. Oh my God, every chapter is so powerful. Now I set back my routine, get up in the morning, drink coffee, and read the book. Half an hour, max 1 hour. I would read, right? And so far I read 3 chapters. The first chapter is love. What is love and how it helps you? It's really, really powerful. Everybody should read it. It is a tremendous amount of let's say the moment I read that book every day, the day goes really well. Amazing, right? So that's my puja. That's my puja and vrata, whatever it is, right? So I would strongly, what he was saying, Swamiji was saying, most of us don't love ourselves, right? We don't even forget about it. We don't even accept ourselves. We feel miserable about us, right? And we have generally speaking, sometimes we want to love ourselves, but we don't even love ourselves. Most of the time we hate our actions. Sometimes we hate ourselves sometimes, or we have an inferiority complex. I used to have, before I met Swamiji, I used to have a tremendous amount of inferiority complex. Swamiji got rid of it in one stroke. Oh my God, Swamiji is not an ordinary human being. He's a superhuman being. I could say he's a Superman. I don't know if he's God or not. I don't know how a God looks like or what God means. But definitely he's not a human, because I can relate with other human beings. All the human beings, he said, he's an unbelievable. He's definitely a super human being, right? So then all the things, right? The self-esteem, low self-esteem, and having an inferiority complex, they're all gone, right? I became more powerful. And then when the people were, when I was relating to people, I could now see how they are playing games, how I was playing games, how the society plays the games. Then you have to play the game. If you don't play the game, you don't know how to win, right? If somebody gives a shake hand, you have to give a shake hand, whether you like it or not, right? So similarly, you get there. Then slowly, but then when you play a game, The game doesn't come free, it comes with a consequence. You see what I'm saying? So, and then when he says love, when you love yourself, unless you love yourself 100%, you cannot love another person. If you cannot love other person, you cannot. So whatever you give it to them, they'll give you back. Oh my God, what a power. So you know what he said that day is my biggest click in that chapter is that you love yourself, you love everybody around you and everything around you, and feel loved by everybody and everything. Your house, your cars, your neighborhood, the whole cosmos is loving you, the whole existence. Feel that, oh my God, the moment that happened, so many of incompletions, in the sense, so many of garbage, like all kinds of things used to drop. Last 20 years, I never preferred cooking, even though I used to cook before all my life. From my 8th grade to until I got married, I cooked because I left my village when I was in 8th grade. After 7th grade, I went to a town, started doing so. Instead of studying in a hostel, I was cooking myself and then doing. So I was tired of cooking. So never. Then so much resistance cooking, so much resistance to washing dishes. This was a big. I could do pretty much anything, but this was tremendous. But now after read this chapter, Swami says, whatever you do, do it with love. So now every action I'm doing with love, tremendous amount. Whether I like it or not, okay, let me love. Swami said it's good, so let me love. The life has completely transformed. Last 3-4 weeks, whatever it is doing, okay, what do you do? Okay, do with love. So when you do with love, a lot of those, sometimes unconsciously when you do things, what happens? Sometimes you react to a situation. Suddenly the bowl dropped and fell. You get irritated. Those kind of things are, like minimal, all you'll come back quickly. That's amazing, right? That was the first thing. That's amazing thing of love, right? When you're talking of the love, oh my God, it's like most of us, when you say love, the love it comes to your head is romantic love. But after reading the chapter, man, there's the huge amount. That's only one part. Romantic life is only one part of life. That's only a certain lifespan, only a certain period of life you'll have. But before that, you have a love of a parents, brothers, sisters, friend, love for whatever you're doing. There's so many other things. It like clears up your life. Oh my God, amazing. So when you have a love, then you can now speak with love, right? Before we were taught what is our learning from this is only got from the garbage, right? So what are the definition we learned was garbage, but that was really a fundamental shift in me happened. That was happening last 1 month, right? That was the first chapter. That was my takeaway. I strongly recommend all of you to read, then come back and share next week. What do you, because each one gets different, because we are conditioned differently, our environment was different, our prarabdha was different, right? So I would strongly recommend, that is your Bhagavad Gita. I call it Nityananda Gita, because sometimes I don't understand some of this Bhagavad Gita, right? I don't understand any of that because it's too big for me. But this is like the way normally average person can understand, very simple English, right? So that's about the love, first chapter. Second one is about worry. Why the worry causes? Oh my God, that gave me a huge fundamental shift, breakthrough. Oh my God, I'm telling you, this amazing, this book, The Living and Learning Book. What am I saying? It's there in my house, it's there in my car, it's there everywhere. How come I missed? Even though I used to, I got so attached to it, I used to, whatever I write, I used to post in Facebook too. But that's again, there is a resistance for me. Oh, it'll take another 5-10 minutes. And then I get irritated, or like sometimes, impatience, right? I have to do the next stuff, right? So far I'm now restored my thing. So somehow I don't have the patience to take post and all. So I would recommend all of you to read. The second chapter was the worry. Oh my God, he was talking about how the worry is caused. Unbelievable. So he was saying the expectation leads to the worry, because what happens, you have certain expectation and then when the reality doesn't match the expectation, the discrepancy between expectation and reality is the worry. That is the causing. Then what is the solution? He says, drop the expectation. Even Krishna also said all those things, but I didn't understand. Then he gave another powerful thing. What he says is, think everything is auspicious. Oh, that's kind of hard to digest. He says, is like a hard swallow. This is like a hala hala, means like a eating the poison only. Right? How can he say whatever is happening? If he lose a job, how can he say it's an auspicious? You know, the logic hits you, right? Or somebody passed away. How can he say it's auspicious? Or somebody has this kind of things, right? How can he say this kind of thing? So these kind of things happen. But since Swamiji is saying he cannot be wrong, so let me just do it. So 90% of them, that generally life is happening, right? See, you had no choice. But then once I started saying, okay, suddenly, like when things go, don't go the way you wanted, suddenly you'll have those whatever that feelings, right? The disappointment and things like that happen, right? Mostly disappointment, sometimes anger, sometimes frustration, right? So, and then once I say, oh, the moment I say the cognition is, that means the understanding, the guiding principle is, Swami says auspicious. Let's think auspicious. The moment you say this is everything is auspicious, everything, instantly the worry is dropped. Oh my God, unbelievable of the power of that, the cognition, and then the breakthroughs, and then the understanding of life happen. Okay, that's a tremendous amount of benefit I got. That's some second chapter. Then I'll tell the third chapter, and then we'll go to maybe then I'll talk about third chapter next week. Maybe we only have a few more minutes. So then I'll ask everybody else, anybody wants to say anything, and then we can close, right? But this is, I strongly recommend, this is your daily manual. Like the way you use your car manual, phone manual, or your office, that business manual. This is a manual for you. I strongly recommend, and I guarantee you that your life would change for good if you read the Nityananda Gita, meaning Living Enlightenment book. I'm telling you, this is free and online. Go to Nityananda and Living Enlightenment. You can even download the book for free. All the books are free, right? You can download.
Yeah, it's also in different languages.
Is there in all the languages too. Okay, a lot of the languages are there. So it's a very powerful book, and I strongly recommend all of you to read. Then when we meet next week, then we can hear all of your experiences. But this is my personal guarantee. It would change your life fundamentally. But read first thing in the morning. The way you settle in the body, oh my God, the way your life goes is unbelievable. Like your life is more stable, very secure. You have an anchor. How does anchor, right? When the huge storm happens in the sea or the ocean, what happens? The sea, the ship releases anchor so that it is stable even in spite of all those disturbances of the storm. So this is the reading this book every day in the morning is your anchor from the daily storms of life. Make sense? Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my experience of the Living Enlightenment book. I call Nityananda Gita. So if anybody wants to say anything, yes, we can say in the closing comment.
That's very good, Bhagavan Reddy. I read the whole book, but a few years ago, but I only remember the essence of the book. Look like you remember more. That when I think back, that, love yourself. It was me. How can I love myself? Somebody need to love me and tell me, why I have to love myself, kind. But then it changed. No, without loving myself, how am I going to love others? First, I need to love myself. Then I need to love others. If others misbehave also, then it won't bother.
Yeah, so that's all. So if you don't have an experience of being loved, yeah, if you don't love yourself, at least you have in your control. Loving yourself,
right.
You have it in your control. Yeah. So
because
why do you have
that expectation is removed.
Yes, exactly. Right. Yeah. That expectation is removed. See, even in the worst case scenario, at least there is somebody to love yourself. That is you. Right. Yeah. So at least that's in your control.
Yeah,
hopefully
it controls. It won't bother. Yeah. It's less impact.
Yes.
That is the change I noticed.
I think that is the biggest change, ma. What I really see is, almost everyone in the world, they actually go through only this thing, saying that, okay, somebody has to love me, somebody has to care me, somebody has to recognize me, right?
Yeah.
whether it is very gross or very subtle, we keep on thinking about somebody else need to do it.
Yeah.
So it's a greatest change.
So then, when it reversed, then, it won't, less impact, less botheration, less impact.
So,
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else wants to say anything before we close? Murli. Madhavi just joined. So Madhavi, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere live. So you want to share any of you? Did you get any breakthrough since last Sunday, last satsang? I want to share anything why somebody should follow Swamiji or Swamiji's teachings.
Inner peace, Bhagavan Garu.
Hmm.
I come here for inner peace, clean up every week.
Okay. You like the way you brush every day in the morning. So you come every week to,
Clean up.
clean up the inner space so that you can have a piece of inner peace. Yes.
Shanti. It's the Shanti. Shantakaram.
Yeah, Shanti, because that's what every human being is looking for, but didn't know the way out. Right? So this is unbelievable experience that we were so lucky that we came across Swamiji, and then he's able to help. Yeah, unbelievable. I feel like I only have one word every day. My guiding principle every day is only one thing. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji. That's all. I only have one word. Thank you, Swamiji. I'm so grateful to you that my life is so great. That is my guiding principle. You know how my guiding principle before I met Swamiji? Complain, frustration, anger, guilt, all. Oh my God. I used to get so frustrated and complain and get mad and angry. And these were my, the daily. But right now, there's only one thing, just gratitude, because this life is great, amazing, unbelievable, right?
How much time do we have left? Or to tell one incident?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll
That
see.
reminds me, right? What Madhavi Garu said is reminding me. See, we went to one of the yatras. At that time, I didn't know. See, that song was playing, Shantakaram Bhujaga Sayanam, right? Ishwadaram, that song. I was walking, Swamiji and other disciples were sitting in a place. At that time, he was keenly looking at me. Okay. And I can see something is happening inside me. Then I didn't know at that time all the truths. I have read from other masters. But by just looking, he can change what's happening inside you, okay? It's a complete peace. He was just looking at me, the song was playing. I was just walking towards. I still remember that scene, all the water drops because of the rain. See, what happens is, Swamiji has, he says when he looks at a person, he can see not only now, he knows about us more than us. Not only this life, he says he can see the whole, all the lives I took before I took the human birth, okay?
Yeah.
Whole thing. Even I forgot all the programs I attended, meditation programs, right? Let's say I attended 21 days programs. We vaguely remember, as Master Lakshmi said, right? We vaguely remember even the things that we read. But Swamiji will tell exactly where you were sitting on what day, which seat, what question you asked. Even now he will tell that. His memory is different completely.
No, actually, Swamiji says he doesn't remember anything. It seems when we go in front of him, what happens? Our file comes up open. Our file comes in front of him, right? And then all you have to do is look at the file and tell you, right?
He has access to the master database. He can query anything he wants.
No, he doesn't need to query, it seems. As soon as you go, the fact that you go in front of him, you have given him a permission to, to see and what it is. So everything comes in front of him, it seems, right? So when everything comes in front of him, whatever needs to be answered or attended to, he'll just attend to, right? Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, that reminds me one more thing, right? One day I was saying, some people said that Swamiji can read your mind. Man, that's ridiculous, man. How can somebody read the mind? I was thinking. So then it's kind of hard to understand, right? How can some human being read another human being mind? Only I can know. How can you know? So once when I went in 2009, I wrote on the page, on the front of the page, and then I want more things, and then I asked on the back of the page, and then I gave him that sheet. He read the front of the page and gave back to me. Usually he gives it to his secretary, then I don't know what they do, but once in a while he gives the book page back to me. And then in my head I'm thinking, man, Swamiji didn't read the backside. That's also very important. Oh my God, he didn't read. He didn't read. I was just thinking, first what he did, he first started talking about the thing which is on the backside of the sheet, and he started answering on the backside of the sheet. Then he answered the front side of the sheet. Oh my God. Then he is not okay. He is not what he seems to be. He definitely knows what he knows what is more than what he can see, right? Then later on in the program, this was a 3-month program I attended with Swamiji in 2009 and 10, right? So he said, let's say if you have given him something, it seems he reads only the first few lines, and then he takes that and searches your mind, and then matches it, and he'll start reading. It is much faster than reading on the book on your page. So he just went and picks up everything and which related to that context, and it says, so that's it. Instantly, it seems instantly, the moment it is there, he just reads and picks up and then finishes. So yes, then that's the only way. Otherwise, I don't think there is a way. Somebody is also asking, Swamiji, how can you read this so fast? He says he only read one chapter or so, then gets to the mind of the guy who wrote, then everything is in his head. He may not remember, but everything is in his head. I'll just read from there. It's much faster. Okay. It's like a downloads. He says he just downloads, right? That we only heard in Matrix, right? Yeah.
Actually, this is see, Swamiji says, right? The another thing I noticed is he will actually prove it through others. Meaning, we have seen personally that all these powers in our agamas, there are 400 plus powers. Actually, after I attended some programs, don't be afraid. Actually, I was able to read thoughts of others. Sometimes it doesn't come at will; it just comes occasionally. And I will ask, "Oh, are you thinking about this or came for this problem?" They will say yes. So it is possible for each human being. So it is a power.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to say anything before we close the session for this week, then again we'll come back again every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern, and 4 Pacific. So this is a very wonderful program. It's a live and no preparedness, nothing.
All the devotees, right? Open to all the devotees, correct?
Not only open to all the public, anybody in the world.
Anybody can
devotees, non-devotees, followers, non-followers, anybody can come and ask their questions, and we share our experience.
I think we should have like a Q&A session for some people sometimes.
Yeah, invite anybody, we can answer, right?
Maybe
we are not official. We are not the official spokesperson of Swamiji, but we are all our disciples of Swamiji, following him, and then we share our experience and our understanding of Swamiji, right? They may like or may not like the answer, but and that's what it is. We'll tell what we believe, what we experience, and what we think is, our understanding of life.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Anyone else has any questions before I close? Okay. Okay, then we'll close with the Purna Mantra, right? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Sadguru Padukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you, Swamiji, for helping all of us.
Thank you, Nityananda.